Were you trying to get access to Claude Mythos? Well, now you have your chance. Anthropics just released Fable 5 and it's available until June 22nd. Try it out. If you run a business by yourself or with a tiny team, your real problem isn't ideas, is that there's one of you and 100 things to do. Anthropic just released a new model called Claude Fable 5, and the headline isn't that it's smarter. It's that it can take that messy goal and actually carry it out all the way to done, checking its own work along the way. So I'm going to cover off what's new and the 4 ways a solo founder or a small business can put it to work on marketing and sales this week. Fable 5 is Anthropic's fifth generation model, and it's the most capable one that's generally available. It sits in a new tier they called Mythos class, a step above Opus. Here's what matters to you in plain English. 1. It runs long, complex tasks on its own. Earlier models were great, a single back and forth. Fable is built to plan across stages, break a, break a big project into steps, keep going for hours, not minutes, without you babysitting every single move. 2, it checks its own work with Verify. This is the big one. Fable writes its own tests, reviews what it produced, and catches its own mistakes before handing it to you. You review a finished draft instead of supervising every step. 3, it can actually see your documents. Fable reads complex diagrams, charts, and tables buried inside PDFs and spreadsheets. So a sales dashboard or a competitor's pricing sheet, it isn't just text to it, it understands all of those visuals. Quick note. As I mentioned before, Fable is available to paid Claude subscribers and through Anthropic's developer platform. For safety, certain high-risk topics like cybersecurity and biology get automatically handled by their previous model instead, which won't affect marketing and sales work at all. Okay, let's get into the practical part. What are 4 jobs you can hand off to Fable? Use case 1. Run a whole campaign from one brief. Instead of asking for 5 Instagram captions, give Fable the actual goal. Plan a 2-week launch campaign for a new service. Include a content calendar, posts for each channel, and a 3 email sequence. Because it works across stages and checks itself, you get a coordinated campaign back and not a pile of disconnected snippets that you have to stitch together. Use case number 2, deep competitive and positioning research. Point it at your competitors. If Fable can work through their websites, their pricing pages, and reviews, and because it reads charts and tables visually, you can drop in screenshots or PDFs too. Ask it to find the gap. What are these 3 competitors all saying? What's the angle that no one is claiming? Okay, you get a positioning brief and you can actually build messaging around. Use case number 3, turn your sales data into a real plan. Upload your sales export, a real spreadsheet, charts and all. Ask what's selling, what's stalling, what should I promote for the next 30 days? Fable reads the numbers and the visuals and then hands you a prioritized plan instead of raw data you still have to interpret. For a solo owner with no analyst, that's a genuine unlock. Okay, use case number 4, personalized sales follow-up at scale. Give it your lead list and notes from the past conversation. Fable can draft individually tailored follow-ups matching the tone to each relationship and lay out who to contact first and why. You stay in control. You read and send. It just removes the blank page tax that kills follow through. the thread through all of these four, you're the editor and the decision maker. Fable does the heavy lifting and the self checking in between. Once again, don't try and automate everything day one. Pick the one task you dread most, probably campaign or follow ups, hand it over to Fable with a clear, specific brief. The more context you give it, the better it does. Then review, refine, and build from there. If this saved you some time, hit subscribe. All right, I've given a challenge to Fable. I've taken the health grocer images that I have, and I'm going to ask it to create a Get Healthy summer campaign. Let's go. So it's assessing the images, taking a look at the logos, drafting some content. And I've done this in Opus before, but it says that it is potentially working at 2 times the speed. So let's see how that rolls out. Okay. Again, when we're working with these newer models, it's always good to try out some different examples, and then you can vet those particular results. And okay, it's creating a working directory because it's going to create some new assets for me, and it's going to continue on. So I'm going to let that run. So, one of the things that I've noticed with Fable right away is it immediately leaps into the code. And it's not only creating those branded assets, but it's also creating kind of context around those particular assets with HTML. So, it's going to be interesting to see when once it has generated that, what the entire content of the folder is going to be based on what I've asked for. Right, this is neat. It's taking a look and creating like an in-store poster. All right. I intentionally wanted to make this prompt broad to see what it could come up with. So when I said create this whole summer campaign, I wanted it to roll out and kind of give me the maximum there. I did specify, what types of, give me 3 lifestyle articles and 5 potential ads. But now Claude Fable 5 is giving me so much more. Right. So one of the things that I noticed here is it found a minor footer overlap in the poster and it's fixing it. So this is this verify step where it's going in and visually taking a look at the layouts, and it's refining them and fixing any mistakes. This was one of the hallmarks of Claude Design. So Claude Design is actually visually going through and examining the layout as if it was a lead designer. So that seems to be incorporated into the Fable infrastructure as well. Right now it's going ahead and it's writing those 3 full lifestyle articles for the campaign. Okay, so let's take a look at our content. First off, it's created images. Secondly, the articles that I asked for. Finally, 5 ad concepts. Okay. But as you can see, it's created so much more ad concepts, lifestyle articles, a hero banner, uh, a social tile, web banner, in store poster, hero banner, social tile, and let's take a look at each one of those. Right. So I want to open up this hero banner. So let's take a look at the ad concepts and the lifestyle articles. It was speedy. Fable5 definitely is speedier than Opus. So I liked, out of the 5 concepts, I really liked for Health Grocer this notion of a family fresh challenge, right? And make some suggestions. What we could have as our CTA, or email content, and also I like this other one, ad number 5, real food, real close. So it focuses in on the store being the local fresh market for you. So it has given me 5 full articles. Okay, 20-minute summer dinner. Okay, that looks appealing. And again, there's lots of other information that's packed in here. What should you put in there as your meta description? All right, and now I can take that article and I can review it. Right, hydration the delicious way, uh, kind of eating to gain more water in the hot summertime. Okay, so lots of great content there that I can parse through and figure out what are the best articles. But what Fable gave me in this context is much more than Opus would have. This is Frank from Obelisk. Dive in to Anthropic's new Claude version, Fable5. Get your copy of the AI Automation Handbook. Click the link in the description below.